Hey guys, and welcome to another Trove Let's Play video. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at Dracocolatl, the Mellower, the new chocolate/candy dragon that just came out today. I think for you guys, it would have came out yesterday though, but anyways, today it has released. So let's look at it. Now it's kind of hard to tell on this orange or this brown flooring, but if we come over here, it's got some nice visual effects. I'm not gonna lie, I really like this dragon. I wasn't completely sold on the whole candy theme because it's not really like my style. Like, I don't really like the whole candy biome theme. But now that it's actually out, it has some amazing visual effects, especially when it walks on the ground and you can see the chocolate splashing. And then also it's dripping chocolate. Like, it makes it feel like it's actually made out of chocolate. It doesn't just feel like a skin over a dragon. And it actually looks like a dragon. I know that's very surprising, but you know, most dragons don't actually look like real dragons. I'm gonna be honest. You know, they have the one made out of Legos. They had the one that looks like Lugia, like a freaking Pokemon. You know, they have all these weird, you know, style dragons that kind of take away from the dragon's effect. And this one feels like a, you know, a big, not just a dragon, but a big dragon. It has that nice wingspan, the big tail. It's got some, like, it's got some weight to it, man. It feels like a dragon. So I really like this dragon. Like I said, I wasn't completely sold on it when they first showed it off, but now it's one of my favorites. Like I said, I wasn't into the whole candy theme in the first place, and I still am not. Like, I don't really like the candy biome too much. Maybe it's just a little too pink for me. I don't know, but you know, I'm not really into that theme too much. But this dragon, man, it looks awesome. So I feel like both TKM and the devs did a good job. TKM obviously did a good job designing it, and then the devs did a good job of putting those nice visual effects. So all around good job, guys. It has my approval. I guess you don't need my approval in the first place, but just in case. Yeah, cool looking dragon, but let's talk about my opinions on the new world boss implementation, because that is also something new and fresh that was just implemented with this dragon. So I love the world bosses. I love the secret layers, especially if you don't know what I'm talking about, or secret dungeons. They're not layers. Layers are the 1-stars. The secret dungeons. If you don't know what I'm talking about though, about the secret dungeons, make sure to click the card in the top right to see that video if you haven't already. It's about the orange gumdrop secret dungeon, and it basically is a secret dungeon that spawns even more of the world bosses, and it's a little bit more efficient because it's also a 3-star dungeon. But besides that, I love those ideas. I love the fact that they are still trying, not still, this is like their first time ever doing this, but they're, you know, starting to implement some cool, unique ways of obtaining things. Sure, we're going to get into this in a second, but it's very... it doesn't take long to get this dragon, but the method, if it just took a little longer, the method is unique enough, in my opinion, to be, you know, a very cool feature that I would like to be seen added to future things. Sure, it might not be another dragon because, like they said, I think starting with the lunar dragon, they said they never want to do a dragon the same way twice. They never want to do that again. That's why every time a new dragon comes out, it's a little bit different. They do refer to, like, not patches, but like if they add 3 dragons at once, they'll all have the same method. What they mean is every roundup, like every time they go back to add a new set of dragons, they will be different that time. Not like every single dragon is going to be different. As you guys know, the last 3 were all came from boxes. That's because they were all within the same roundup. I don't know if this is like their ultimate solution, because they said when they came out with the Lunar Dragon, they're going to keep doing it until they find their solution that they want to implement to all dragons. So this might be it. So we just have to see till the next dragon. The next dragon is actually a Halloween dragon, so we're going to have to see how that one is added into the game. But anyways, I like the idea. I love the idea. I just feel like they undertuned it a little bit too much. So like I said, the world bosses and the secret layers, love that, especially the secret layers. I like how they're implementing things that they don't tell the players about, and they want the players to go out and find it on their own. I love that because that means that the devs still have a little bit of, you know, they still have a little bit of spark in them to, you know, maybe make it to where not everyone knows everything in the entire game from the get-go. Which I like I said, I love that. But I feel like they just they're either too common, like they're not as rare as they made them out to be, or they cost too little amount of fragments to craft. Because it took me solo, it took me about an hour to get this dragon solo. Like every time someone was in the world chat and said, you know, that they found a dragon, I never said invite me because I wanted to see how I can get it on my own. I did it twice, so I found it in 1 hour solo, and then it took me another hour and 20 minutes to find another 50 fragments in U9, by the way, guys. Which is where I assume most people are nowadays, because 10k is like it's like 1k back in the day. So I'm assuming most people are in U9 by now. Again, most, not all. So if you're not in U9, I'm not talking everybody. But anyways, yes, I feel like, you know, that's about the average that people are gonna get it in an hour. So I feel like that's a little too quickly, and I know I kind of know the reason why. It's because they made it 100% grindable. Every dragon that's ever come out has been limited in some way or another, be it RNG by opening boxes, or the way that I felt was the best way, which I don't know why they went away from this method, but I felt the best way was, you know, doing it once an hour and slowly working on your souls. I feel like that was the best method, because you still had to put effort into getting the dragon before they made greater dragon caches a thing. You know, you still had to go out and get your dragon, but you couldn't just get it all at once. So that's an opinion, obviously. That's why they went away from that method, because maybe the devs didn't like that, or maybe the player base didn't like that. Let me know how you guys think about it, because personally, I feel like an hour is way too quick. I feel like, you know, it should be at least 5. If you can, like, wholeheartedly just go out hardcore and grind a dragon, I feel like minimum should take 5 hours, because that means a casual player that plays maybe an hour a day, it'll take them about a week to get it. And that's how long dragons usually take. They usually take about a week, in terms of the souls, once again, when they used to be available for souls. It used to take about a week, and I feel like that was like the perfect time to investment ratio when it came to the dragons. So I feel like either the dragons are a little bit too easy to find, like they're not as rare, like I said, I think I mentioned this, they're not as rare as the devs made them out to be, or they just cost too little. Make them cost like 300 fragments, and I think that'd be perfect. That's literally it. I feel like the dragon was awesome. I feel like the implementation was awesome. I just feel like it was a little, the numbers were a little too low. So maybe make them 300 fragments, maybe even just 200. You don't have to go crazy with 300 fragments. Maybe like 200, and then or just make them a little bit more rare. Keep them 50 so people don't feel like they're grinding for a year. Just make them a little bit more rare. That way, you know, the communities that want to go out and grind them in an hour can still do that. But if you're solo, it won't take the same amount of time to grind in an hour if you're completely solo. I think that should take a little longer. So maybe make them a little bit more rare, and that's pretty much it. Honestly, like, that's the only issue that I had with the world bosses, is they're too common, and the fragments just took too little. But obviously, like I said, leave your guys' opinions down below. Maybe you guys like the fact that you can only get it within an hour. And you're done. You don't have to worry about it ever again. I feel like that's the lazy and easy approach, but, you know, again, that's an opinion, so let me know. Also, what kind of, like, supports my opinion a little bit is the fact that they spent all this time making these cool and unique dragons, and these awesome secret layers, and it only takes an hour until you're completely done with them. You never ever, you know, all this delay, all this, you know, development time that they put into them, and, you know, you're probably never going to see them again after the first hour of you logging into this patch, which I feel like, once again, that's a little sad on the devs' part, because they spent all this time making this cool, and my opinion, the most unique thing to ever hit this game, you know, is the secret little layers. Even though, like I said, you only have to find them once, and then you've already seen it all. But still, you know, the fact that it exists, I feel like, you know, it takes an hour, and you're never gonna see them again, because there's no point to go into candy biome. Like, if you're farming the Uber worlds, you want to be in prime world or primordial worlds to get your boxes, and then if you're farming experience, you want to do those in hard shadow towers. Like, there's literally no point to going to the prime worlds unless you're maybe farming the shadow tower keys, which is not a good method at all, because that's like, you could literally farm radiant shards in the amount of time that you could farm the keys to even open the boxes at the end of the dungeon. Like, farming shadow towers is horrible for Flux. So, like, there's literally no point to ever visit a prime world. They don't have a point right now, in my opinion. Like I said, there's you could if you want to. There's just way more efficient methods for any reason you would ever want to go to a prime world, be it farming experience, or farming gems, or farming Flux. There's, like, just no point. So I feel like, you know, that's just a sad part of it. And honestly, that's pretty much it. Like I said, I just wanted to mention that to kind of just like maybe back up my opinion a little bit more, maybe shed some light on why I don't like that it only takes an hour to get the dragon. And like I said, that's pretty much it. That's my only opinions on it. It's a pretty cool dragon, pretty cool way to get the dragon. I like the secret layers a lot, like you probably have already seen me mention many times in this one video alone. I mean, that's pretty much it. If you guys enjoyed it, remember, leave your guys' opinions down below. I want to see the community's consensus on this. Maybe the community of Trove likes easiness. It is Trove after all. So let me know, because, you know, people can have differing opinions, and that's okay. So let me know in the comments below. And besides that, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a like, and I will see you guys next time.